Hey, what is up, everybody? Ramblin' Gamer coming at you today with more World of Tanks, Let's Play tips and tricks for newbies, whatever. Today we are going to be covering tank destroyers. That is right, we have moved on up from our Tier 1 tanks, and as soon as you hit Tier 2, probably one of the better tank types you're going to be able to get your hands on. Definitely one of the more different types is the tank destroyer. Now, right away, you're going to be noticing no turrets. This is a kind of a deal breaker for some people. For me, it did take a little while to get used to, but once you get used to it, believe me, so worth it. These tanks have a ton of frontal armor and very, very powerful guns, hence the name Tank Destroyer. And as we're about to see, these aren't something you want to be taking on from the front. You saw that right there. Just, if that guy actually hadn't shot him, I would still be willing to bet I would have two-shotted him. This is another one of those moments that you see, I got hit, no damage. uh, he's going to keep hitting me. And this is one of the big things with these tanks. Make sure you don't get circled. Unfortunately here I got friendly fired, which not at all surprising in this low tier of a battle. You have a bunch of new players. They frankly have no clue what they're doing. And this is another thing that's really nice about these tank destroyers is when you get into battles with things like these, they're going to sit here and try to hit you in the front, and it's just going to ping off, and you get time to aim, and right there I got to aim at his Glacius plate and take him out. And unfortunately here I do bump into another tank destroyer, and I got a little cocky and was like, oh, well, I'm in a tank destroyer too. I'm in a T-18. It's better than the AT, whatever. And yeah, that cost me. At the same time, my allies did finish him. I did take a big chunk of his health. So, GG. I can't complain about that at all. 2 kills, quite a bit of damage done. It was a good game. Wait a minute, I'm having a thought. Let's do something that you should never do in a tank destroyer. All charge! Well, that wasn't very smart. I mean, I got a kill, but I do just want to mention this while it's happening here. That's a light tank. I am a tank destroyer. I have a bigger gun and better frontal armor. I should be the one up on the hill there sniping, and he should be the one out here scouting. Like light tanks are supposed to. Regardless, I knew he wouldn't be coming up here to jump the gun. Actually, I think, yeah, he's got a buddy pulling up behind him there. Another light tank, nonetheless. Because, tank destroyers are just, they're so great at handling multiple fast opponents at once. But I have skills, so it works. And right here, you're going to see just how superior the frontal armor in these things are, He's wailing on me with the machine gun, no damage. Now, yeah, my idiots back there actually did help me out there, so, I mean, yeah, I totally needed it, but I guess whatever. So, most definitely, when it comes to this tank, my advice is always, make sure you don't end up in a position where you're going to get circled. Make sure you're in a position where you don't want to be exactly front lines. I already mentioned this when I did my first video of these, but throwing the SOS out here, it's like nobody comes up and takes hill. It's just it really pisses me off in these earlier maps. I mean, I realize these are noob teams. They're new. They don't know what's going on, but it's just like, come on, man. We have everybody sitting in our base camping, and it's just stupid bastards. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting with this. Uh, remember what I said about the times you don't want to get circled? I'm going to show you a plan that was partially skill and partially complete and utter luck that he was the only one that took hill and that their artillery sucked. Right here, yep, just continuing to rotate, trying to make sure that he doesn't circle and get around behind me, because I know all of his shells that are going to hit me in the front aren't going to do anything compared to what they'll do if they hit me in the sides or the back. And that does go for any tank generally, but TD's far, far more. They have a lot more armor in the front than they do on the sides or back, which is how you're going to want to be playing this tank. Like I said, this is not a tank. You know, if there's enemies in front of you and like you're getting hit and everything, you don't want to turn around and run away. You're going to die if you do that. This is a tank you're going to want to back up slowly and just generally try to make sure that yeah, you're not getting hit in the back or the sides. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this video to be enjoyable and maybe hopefully somewhat informative. TDs are going to be some of the strongest tanks you're going to see this early on, at least up until about like tier 5 when heavies tanks start coming into the mix. Actually, that's really when TDs start shining well, because they're some of the few things that can really do a lot of damage to heavy tanks. But yeah, like the beginning of the game here, you know, these things are gonna absolutely rip through the light and medium tanks, and that's one of the reasons that I actually really enjoy tank destroyers, especially early on like this. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been Ramblin' Gamer. Watch out for bears.